Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. And a special thank you to Grumpy Cat. 1 minute ago, I noticed in the chat, Grumpy Cat said that I put the wrong date in the title of this video. I put the 7th instead of the 6th. So I quickly went in with lightning speed and agility and changed it. And now it should say the 6th in the title. I don't think I put it in the description, but I fixed it and it says the 6th on my screen now. So good. And I hope that didn't confuse anybody. I had the right date on the thumbnail, I'm pretty sure. At any rate, thank you very much for pointing that out. All I know is it's still the July 4th weekend, and it's not over yet. And they're still blowing off the fireworks till all hours of the night. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time they stop and what time I finally get to sleep. Between 4:30 and 5. Wide awake, and when I wake up, I have no desire to stay in bed. I don't think that's normal. Most people wear out the snooze button on their alarm clock, pull the covers back over their head. For some reason, don't want to get out of bed. And I really wish I could give credit to Carnivore for doing that, but I've always been that way. I've always seemed to have so much on my mind and so much I want to accomplish that I spring out of bed first thing in the morning and want to get right to it. So welcome, everybody. Good to see you on this Saturday afternoon. I was kind of wondering, being a holiday weekend like this, beautiful weather here in Florida, beach day and all that, with how many people would actually be sitting at home on their computer. And I'm watching my viewer count. It says 57 right now. Was up 58. It was up higher than that. And I think a few people tuned in and said, oh, no, it's this guy. and they tuned out. But I'm going to continue to be positive and consider it that it's their loss. Their loss. Thank you all so much for so many nice comments on that little video I put out as an afterthought this morning. I already had a video queued up, ready to be released and scheduled to be released today, talking about stress as what I consider a major hindrance to the success of a carnivore diet. Not quite as much of a hindrance as addiction, and you all know how I feel about addiction. And I still feel that you just can't talk enough about it because nobody really talks a lot about it. And that blows my mind, because everything I see and everything that in my head, in my own analysis of where this problem came from, how it continues to be supported, why people find the thought of giving up sugar the most horrible thing they can contemplate in their lives. Addiction, in my opinion, again, I keep using those words because it is my opinion, is the overwhelming problem. But I think that when I study the effects of adrenaline and cortisol and the other stress responses of the body and the reason why we have these mechanisms, and I keep saying that any mechanisms we have come to us as a result of programming in our genetics that was at one time in our history beneficial or necessary for the survival of our species. It's these very same mechanisms in this particular environment we live run amok and become incredibly harmful and have almost switch roles as what they do to our eventual survival. We can't adapt fast enough. These changes in our society and our diet have just come on way too fast in evolutionary time. So that's tomorrow's video will be about stress. I don't expect, and this is the funny part, I don't expect it to get anywhere near the views that my little rant video got this morning. And those things puzzle me. The little video I recorded at the spur of the moment outside last week was one of my best performing videos of the week. 8, 9, maybe 10,000 views. And it came right out of the gate with 1,000 views in the first hour, which for me, my average is like 300 to 400 views in the first hour. It's crazy. Today's video came to me and I had this little speech rattling around in my head, and I said to myself, you know, Mitch, instead of talking to yourself, why don't you talk to everybody? Because I think there's a little story here. So I quick grabbed the camera, recorded that video, edited it, uploaded it, and bang, out of the box it went. And I think, and I say to myself, why? Why is it that when I talk about the science of things and even my recipe videos, you know, I have my usual base of a couple thousand, 3,000 people that watch everything I put out, and I love you guys. You're the guys that are here right now, so thank you all. I know who I'm talking to. I say to myself, what is it? What is it that makes those I'll call them rant videos, so entertaining to people? Do people just like to see me go off on something or somebody? Whatever it is, I can, other than the Monday morning ones are my worst performing videos. And that baffles me too. And that just shows no matter how smart you are or how much you think you can figure stuff out, you can't. You can't. But that video today is going like crazy. And I watched it and I thought it was a great video. I was very, very proud of it. And I had put in at the beginning that clip from Ken and Nisha. That was, I would say, about 4 or 5 months ago. And I put it in there because I intended that video in case you guys didn't get the hidden message in it. Because that hidden message was not meant for you, and there was no reason why you would even think this. But the whole purpose of that message, and this may sound silly to you, but was aimed at one or two poor people. And the message was, who do you think you're screwing with here? I'm a star, see? Ken and Nisha love me. And then at the end of the video, a couple of you people commented about the fact that after I got up from doing those push-ups, I gave this little Cheshire cat grin. And I've answered a couple of comments about that, saying that that little Cheshire cat grin is really who I am. I'm not a grumpy old man. I'm not bitter. I'm happy. I'm content. I rant because it's just great to rant against things that are wrong and evil, but that doesn't mean you're not happy, or that doesn't mean you're that angry about it. It means that you have convictions and you understand what the evil people and the bad people and the people with no conscience and the sociopaths are doing to all of us. So these videos like today are kind of my double-barreled middle finger at all of those people who think that they can watch one of my videos and presume to think they're going to educate me at my age. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I'm saying that when you're young, and obviously most of these people are very young, probably too young to even be affected with any of the chronic conditions that we have. You know, ask any 25-year-old if he's worried about the bad effects of the food he's eating that are going to cripple him up and ruin his life in 30 or 40 years, and they don't care. They don't care. They're not saving for their retirement either. They're only living for today, and you just have to take everything they say with a grain of sand. So I just want to assure those of you here that care about me, and I know you do, that are happy to be a member of this community, that I value as members of this community. I just want you to know there is no need to be concerned about my mental health or my state of mind. This YouTube has turned into a full-time job for me. And the only way to maintain it as a full-time job is to not stop producing content that people want to watch and find entertaining. So I try at the heart of every video I make to figure out some way to make it entertaining. If it wasn't entertaining, you wouldn't watch it. And since you guys seem to be so entertained about that in-your-face Mitch that tells it like it is, I enjoy making those things. Those videos are spontaneous. They just come out because that's how I really feel. So when somebody tells me, tell us what you really think, Mitch, I do that constantly. So thank you so much for the acceptance of that. Thanks for being here on this Saturday afternoon. So far, we got like 84 of you, it says. That's great. That's great. And let me start saying hello to some of you people that you're here. We don't have guests today. We have just me. We have me. Let me try to get back up to the beginning of the chat. We have me. We have my sidekick, Walter. And for those of you who weren't in that last live stream I did point out to you the fabulous resemblance between me and Walter. And you all know who Walter is. And the fabulous resemblance lies in the rear view, if you see what I mean. Isn't that right, Walter? I'm proud of it. Proud of it. Proud to look like Walter. Proud my hairline looks like his. So let's see, who do we got here? We have the first one in. Let me get rid of that annoying scrolling banner. There we go. The first one in to this video was StreamYard. Not who I was looking for. Boyd Lamb. Where are you all from? Southeast Texas here. You guys were in the chat early. You were in the chat early, and I wasn't even back to the beginning of it. Oh my God, look at this. I'm scrolling like crazy here. Okay, the first one in was Rosie. Hiya, Rosie. How you doing? No bridge today. I get to watch you. That's great. That's great. Well, I mean, it's not that I don't want you to play bridge and all. You enjoy that, but good to have you here. Good to have you here. And Rosie is a moderator, and Rosie's going to be trying to keep an eye on the chat for me and let me know somehow when one of you asked a question that I may have missed, because it's, as you know by now on these live streams, it's very hard for me to keep up with all the conversations and all the chat going on, because so many of you have become friends. It gratifies me to see how friendly you've become, and you come in early before the live stream starts and start chatting away with each other. United Carnivore from Tampa, how you doing? Another day in meat paradise. And he also says, Old Guy Carnivore, follow-up question from last week related to the Brazilian Steakhouse meetup. Did you know there's a very good Brazilian steakhouse at the Melbourne Square Mall? You know, I can't even tell you the last time I was in the Melbourne Square Mall. Seriously, most malls in this country are dying, and there's certainly nothing in the food court for me in those malls, and in the shops, which seem to be mostly dedicated to young kids and the clothes that they wear. But I did not know that. Thank you for that. I will check it out, and I will take my camera with me when I check it out. And you're right. If they have a Brazilian steakhouse in there, and it's not too ridiculously expensive like most of them are, that would be a great place for a meetup with an emphasis on the MEAT. Appreciate that. I love this guy's handle, or girls. I have a funny feeling with a name like that and a baseball cap image. It's a guy. Stink Ass Cat. Welcome, Stink Ass Cat. I love saying that. Welcome, Stink Ass Cat, to the private community. And look forward to seeing you and meeting you in one of my live streams Thursday night. We had a freaking free-for-all last Thursday. That's all I can say about that. But welcome to the community. Thank you for joining. Breaking news for all carnivores. There's a 24-hour live stream starting tomorrow at 6 Eastern. It looks like there will be several speakers and looks to be a great community event. Go Carnivore. What channel is that on? Let us know. Although it'd probably pop up in most of our feeds. I've watched a couple of these 24-hour live streams. I haven't seen them get all that much traction, but it'll be interesting. And I'll certainly look at those. At UK Carnivore. Okay. So that's probably Kent Carnivore and that whole crew over there. And they're worth watching. There's some pretty sharp guys. I like Lee Copus. Stacy says she loved my video. Thank you, Stacy. Especially the video from today. People just don't, especially the video, you were pasting the same. People just don't get it. Okay. Boyd Lamb, how you doing, Boyd? Take the rest of the day off, eat meat, and listen to Jimi Hendrix. Always great advice. Furrow Grandma, sounds chill. Yes, we have Don Shanger here. How you doing? Good afternoon to you, the Furrow Grandma. The 24-hour does sound like fun. They have some well-known guests lined up. That's great. I would be honored if somebody had asked me, but they didn't. Am I hurt? Am I insulted? Do I feel left out? Not at all. How was that? Was that good acting? Do I have a career in Hollywood, folks? Let me know. Furrow Grandma sounds like 24 hours at party, yes. Furrow Grandma again, United Carnivore again. Juan, buenos tardes. Juan, how are you, my friend in Chile? Staying warm down there in the wintertime. I wish we had a little of that up here. Good to see you. Glad you're here. And Rosie's communicating with Juan. Did you get your car back from the garage, she said. Juan says, yes, I did. Rosie's saying hello to everybody, and Juan and Rosie, and we have. Parky, I like today's video. Good. I had a great time doing it. I'm going to let you in on another secret. I don't know how many people actually watch my videos all the way to the end. According to my analytics, it's usually maybe a third of them make it all the way to the end, which is probably pretty good in YouTube, especially in the 20 to 25 minute videos, like so many of mine end up. At the end of that video, the push-ups were a last minute thought. I had ended the video. I had told you all to take the rest of the day off. And I shut the camera off. And right then I said, I hadn't given them enough of a double barrel middle finger. 85 years old. Honest to God, that comment said, you look 85 years old. If that's what carnivore did to you, we're not interested. And I said to myself, I haven't been in their face enough with this. So I turned the camera back on and I said, the hell with this. I'm going to go do 10 push-ups, which is a real double-barrel middle finger to somebody who wrote that comment. And the one thing you don't know, the one thing you guys don't know, is I only did 10. And that 10th one, I wouldn't say it was a struggle. I could have probably gotten to 15 in that set. But what you didn't know is that less than 1 hour before, I did 4 sets of 25 push-ups. I had already done 100 push-ups this morning. And when I got down on the floor, I said to myself, well, Mitch, if it doesn't work out, if you're already just too worn out from 100 previous push-ups, you just won't put it in the video. So I started doing those push-ups. And I'm saying to myself, well, if I get to 10, that'll prove my point. And I made it to the 10. And I probably could have gotten a couple other ones out. But by that time, I had already been pretty well wrung out of push-ups. I already did 100 squats this morning. I did 3 sets of pull-ups. I did triceps. I did shoulders. I mean, I just had a terrific workout this morning, and I was amazed I got through 10. But there's a secret that you know that nobody else knows. And Rosie says, Stacy has a question. Where is Stacy's question? So I will leave that chat right over there where Parky is, and I will go over to the other chat and try to find Stacy's question. How far back is it, Rosie? I'm looking. I don't see it yet. I think it was too far back. Stacy, the last entry I see from her says Jackson, Tennessee. Hey, Mitch. Listen, if you guys want to put a question in, put 3 Q's, capital Q's in. Give me something to look for when I'm searching for it. Hey, Mitch, do you remember me from Washington, D.C., Jackson, Tennessee, enjoying your live stream? Stacy. Do I remember you? I didn't meet you in person, I don't think, anywhere. And I do remember talking to somebody from Jackson, Tennessee, because when I was in the cigar business, I've been in Jackson, Tennessee a couple times, and we used to sell to the cigar shop there. We used to go up and twice we went up and visited him. But I wish I could say that comes right to mind, Stacy, but it doesn't, and it may if I get another clue or two. So let's go over and continue to say hello to people. We got Stickman's Garage. How you doing? Can you please tell us which channel or channels are hosting the live stream? I think somebody already did. The UK Carnivore or something like that. Stickman Garage. I think it's going to be on UK Carnivore, he says. 6 a.m. Yeah, that would put it around late morning for them over there. All you need to do is open YouTube, type in the search bar, 24-hour carnivore live stream. It'll pop right up. Stacy says hello to Rosie. Rosie says hi to Stacy. And I am Jazzy Judy. Hello from San Diego. How you doing? Good to see you out there on the left coast. Don Shanger just finished watching my video from this morning, and Mark Boos Sr. says hello to everyone. Kathy McGinnis, greetings from SoCal. Coco is here. How you doing, Coco? Good to see you. And Mkai is here. Mary Beth, how you doing? Good to see you. I love that. That has to be, honest, one of my favorite YouTube handles. I think if you had used two M's, two small M's and a K, I think it might have been more obvious. Okay, okay, okay. For those of you who've never watched South Park, you should. And we have Morin, how you doing? Says hello all. And Gary Hart, I never get these countdowns. I will come back. Sorry. There's two reasons for the countdowns. And I do it for 5 minutes, and you don't have to watch it because I do them 5 minutes before the scheduled start time of the video. So it's not on your time, it's on my time. I start the countdown at 5 minutes, and the video says that it's going to start on the hour. If you're still here, you haven't gotten tired of me yet, let me explain why I do that. I learned a long time ago that when you go live, when I hit that go live button, there are times when YouTube just screws up. Something doesn't go. It doesn't go live. I've got something maybe not set right. I've got something messed up with the sound. That gives me 5 minutes to get my house in order before I need to start using this. And there have been times, I got to tell you, where I have scrambled like a one-arm paper hanger. I've even had to, at one point, reboot my entire system and reload and reconfigure all of this in the 5 minutes that the countdown was running without anything on the screen. But the countdown was still running. So I do it for that reason. And we've got such a great community here that during that first 5 minutes, it's like a movie theater. People have a chance to take their seat, arrange their popcorn and their soft drinks, finish the conversations that they're having with their friends so they don't annoy anybody after the show starts. And I always get a lot of people jumping into the chat even before the countdown starts. So that's why I do it. That's why I do it. And I'm going to keep doing it. On my drone live streams, I did a 20-minute countdown because those guys just love to come in for 20 minutes and chat before I open my mouth. And I did it. I did it. Gary, that was Gary Hart. I hope you did come back, Gary. Sammy Schufert is here. Tina Schweikerath is here. How you doing? Good to see you, and I'm happy that you wanted to watch today. We have Big John's Weight Loss. NASA would be proud of my setup. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. And we had Grumpy Cat here. Told me that I made a mistake and put the 7th in the title, and I told him earlier, or her, that I appreciated the heads up. And who else have we got that I haven't said hello to? We have Lucy Auerbach. How you doing? Tells you all to hit the subscribe and eat meat. I concur. And I think I'm getting down to where most of the people are just chatting because all of what I just said hello to was before 3 o'clock, before the live stream actually started. So that shows you what goes on in the first 5 minutes during the countdown. Robert Cole is here. 3 screens. Nice setup. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Always wanted to be in show business. This is as close as I'm going to get. Quicker Ticker says, yep. Beverly is here. Says hello. Hi, Beverly. Good to see you. And Richard DCDL driver. Good to see you from Erie, heading to Boston. Out on the road. Out on the road. Randy K., one of my other followers and private community members, is a over-the-road trucker, and we hear from him a lot of times on Thursday night from different places along the road. Ron Emerson. Ron Emerson, I see that you joined Ron Emerson Kai joined the private community, and that will probably show up a little further down in this chat, but thank you so much. Steve Studley is here. Good to see you. Says hi to everybody. HW Mo Liberty. HWMO Liberty. Hello from Fort Worth, Texas. How you doing? And we have St. Beagle here. I'm from Long Island. I made your frittata recipe. That came out good, and that was, I think, one of my better received recipes. I've made it 3 times for myself. I love it. I'm ready for another one. Ready for another one. Anna T. Hey, hey, hey. And Carolyn Hernandez is here. Good to see you from Texas. And Michael Pregler. Hi, Mike. Good to see you, my friend. Aunt B is here. I was watching the video and all I can think of is bacon. Where would we be without bacon? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And Juan is, yes, he's still on the bacon kick. Okay, Paul Clark is here, Director General of the Transformation of Our Food System, more plan. But yeah, we know all that. It's very depressing, isn't it? Very depressing. All of these globalist organizations are right out of James Bond movies. I don't know how else to say it. Anna T is here. Hi, Anna. I think I've said hello to all the Shannon Thomas Trucking. We got all the truck drivers today. Good to see you. Here's my other truck driver, says therapy for me. And here is the notice that Ron Emerson Kai became a YouTube member. Thank you so much, my friend. And I hope to see you Thursday night. And I hope you'll click the link and join in so we can meet each other face to face and clown around like we do on Thursday nights. What's this? Anyone catch No Card Life new video regarding Australia's new sugar tax? No, I haven't. But a sugar tax, I would be all for that. I would, maybe, because there's an old saying about taxes and tax exemptions. If you want something to proliferate, you give it a tax exemption. If you want something to go away, you raise the taxes on it. So by that logic, a sugar tax could only be helpful. It's been tried before, especially in New York City when they had that New York law that you couldn't sell a soft drink more than 16 ounces. And we all saw how well received that was among the general public. Boyd Lamb is chatting it up. B. Lori, did I say hi to you? Lori Rabideau from Wisconsin. Good to see you. And what I'm going to do, and here's Tammy. Hi, Tammy Pitarch. And says hi to me and all of her carnivorous friends. Tormir is here from Finland. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I especially like to see the people from Europe on Saturday afternoon, which was the main reason I decided to do this on Saturday afternoon, was so it wouldn't be too late for everybody over there. We get everybody. We get Australia, which is fine in the evening because it's morning for them, mid-morning. But the poor people in Europe or the Middle East, they're the ones that are asleep when it's evening here on the East Coast. So I'm going to switch over from this chat right here, from this chat, which is what I've been reading. And this chat is the one where I can click and make something show up on the screen, like that rosy red comment. And I'm going to switch over to this chat here, which is the chat that comes off of YouTube, and it's the same chat you're seeing. So from here on out, if I want to put something on the screen, I'm going to have to go back to this one on the left and find it, and that's very, very cumbersome. And I wish there was a way I could just click on this one and have it pop up on the screen. And there may be some kludged up way I could do that, but I do like to acknowledge a lot of the people that come in I found people like to be recognized, like to see their names up on the screen. So I do that because I appreciate all of you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down here, and Linda Price has flagged me with a red old guy card question above from HWMO Liberty. So let me see. Question from, okay, everybody, Rosie's telling me that there's a question. Anybody in Dallas, Fort Worth need a carnivore, ketovore support buddy? I've had like 3 Diet Dr. Peppers today already, he says. Question, how did you get off diet sodas? That, my friend, is a question for the ages. This if I let you see my front, it would work much better. This right here, San Pellegrino, is basically unflavored soda. It's see if we can hear it. Now, I had already opened it in the bubbles, but it is fizzy. It's got a bite in it. It's got a bite to it. It has everything in it that soda has, and nothing in it that soda has, because it's just carbonated water. And the fact that it comes in this fancy looking bottle and it's imported from Italy means that the case of the San Pellegrino water is very special. It had to travel here from Italy on a cargo ship in containers. Water with bubbles. They had to print these fancy labels. These things used to come in glass bottles, but they've got them in plastic bottles now, but I don't think that's harmful because they're not heated up. And hopefully they're BPA-free plastic. I think most of the industry's gotten to that. People think that sodas in tin cans are safe, but all tin cans are plastic coated inside. So it's the same thing. None of that stuff's really any good for you. Glass or stainless steel is really the only way, the only safe container for liquids or anything, really, that doesn't leach stuff into whatever it's carrying. Speaking of that, I want to show you guys something. It dawned on me, and I put out a community post today, and I want to stop right here because I meant to tell you this, but I'm going to head on over here to my website on the page that I tell you so much about. The page, the links to stuff that I use every day. This is where my Amazon links live, and I hope that all of you spend half your day browsing around here. Yeah, in my dreams. But I did want to show you one thing, and I get they're notifications from Amazon when anything that I have generated a link to through my affiliate account has a special or a sale or some limited time offer. And right now we have Amazon Prime Days coming up on the 16th and 17th. And I got to tell you, you wouldn't believe the emails, the notifications, the barrage of crap I'm getting constantly all day long from Amazon, looking for me to point out all of these things to you, none of which fit in with what we're doing, basically, except every once in a while. And today, I do read them and I do look at them. And today I got one that talked about, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. It's this Buzzio 40-ounce water bottle. So let me go over to Amazon, show you what this thing is. And this is the stainless steel thermos 40-ounce water bottle that I use every day to mix my electrolytes in. I put the teaspoonful of my electrolytes in there. I fill it full of water. Let's make this picture bigger so you can see it. I fill it full of water. I shake it up real good. This thing that you see up here sticking out the top is a straw, and it folds down and closes. So you don't have to take the top off. All you have to do to drink from it is just flip up this thing, suck on it. It's a straw that goes all the way down, and alongside it there you can actually see the straws. They give you all this stuff with this thing. They give you the bottle, and it's all stainless steel. They give you the lid with the straw. They give you a plain lid. They give you a lid with a cap. They give you a beautifully made cloth bag to carry it in, a neck strap if you're so inclined, a brush to clean the straws. It's incredible, and it's normally $30. It's normally $30. It will keep ice water cold for almost 2 days. It's crazy how insulated and how well this thing works. They give you these caps. They give you, shows you the construction of it. Anyway, it's on Amazon, and it's on sale today. They have a special, and it's on sale for $19.95, which is a third off, 33% off. And just to show you guys that I put my money where my mouth is, I'm going to buy another one just to have it. So I'm going to add it to my cart. I'm going to go into my cart. I'm going to say, proceed to checkout. Okay, I'm going to say, place your order. And there you go. I have now just bought another one for myself because for $20, I'll keep a spare one in case I might want to use it for something other than electrolytes, because this thing in my house never sits empty. It's always got electrolytes in it. But maybe I just want to, maybe going out somewhere, I just want to take a jug of ice water with me. So I bought a second one of those for $20. The link is on my links to stuff I use page. I also put a direct link to this in that post. Just wanted to let you guys know, I think it was worth $30. For $20, I thought it was a no-brainer. If you want one, get one. If you don't want one, I'm not insulted, I promise. There you go. Okay. So let's see. I think I was talking about sodas, so let me not forget that. I brought up this because this, for me, I was addicted to diet sodas because of the sweet taste and just the habit of just sipping on them. I'm very sure they were one of the many things that kept me addicted, triggered my addictions, and led to me eating things that did have real sugar in them. But we don't want to believe that. We want to believe that even though we're addicts, as long as we don't eat the sugar, it's okay. It's okay to eat those low-carb versions of pizza crust and mashed potatoes and cookies and all the keto treats that they sell. It's okay to do that. Drink the diet sodas. Even drink the flavored electrolytes that are flavored with stevia. And that was my crutch. And that's how I did it. I bought the flavored electrolytes. I bought the ones, even though I'm not a Dr. Berg fan, I liked the ingredients that he used, the amount of potassium and all in his. So I bought from Amazon, and I do have a link for it because people still use it. I bought the flavored electrolyte mix. It's not cheap. It's like 40 or 50 bucks for 100 doses, about a half a buck a dose, which is still, I think, a little cheaper than Element, which I think Well, I'm not going to say anything bad about Element, even though Element has never approached me. Never approached me as a sponsor. That breaks me up. It amazes me. It amazes me. They approached everybody to sponsor their video. Not that I would have accepted it, but I at least would have liked the opportunity to say no to them, like I do to most everybody else that wants me to sponsor their videos of some strange ass product that nobody wants or needs. But the Dr. Berg stuff was sweet enough. And what I did was I took what did I do it in? I did it in a, not a glass, but a big tumbler that would hold an entire bottle of this. And I put one serving of the electrolytes in, and I poured the San Pellegrino into it, and it made basically diet soda. Okay, diet soda. And it was sweet, and it was a treat for me. It was still a treat. But I drank it all down. I didn't sip on it all day long. I mean, I would sit down in front of the TV and I would drink it like you drink a beverage in the evening, like you'd sit and drink a scotch and soda or something like that. I would drink this artificially sweetened thing, and it helped. It wasn't sweet enough to really kick off my cravings, but it did satisfy. I looked forward to it. It was a treat. And that's the problem. If something becomes a treat and you don't want to be eating it, then you're stuck. You want to get it relegated into a different category than treat. You want to relegate it in the garbage category. And I did that for a while, and I think I went through 2 of those jars, which I now use to hold my homemade electrolyte mix. The same jars. They're great. They hold 100 doses. I used the little scoops that came with the Dr. Berg stuff. Same jar that came with the Dr. I took a felt tip felt tip marker, and I wrote Mitch's electrolytes and what the different amounts and things they had in it on the outside to make my own fancy handwritten label. And I put 1 teaspoon in that 40-ounce thermos every morning, fill it full of ice water. And that's all I need. It stays cold all day. And I sip on it and drink on it all day long. But I went through 2 of the jars of the Bergs, which was 200 doses, which was 7 or 8 months. And then I said, okay, I think I'm going to give a shot at getting off of artificial sweeteners completely, even if they're just stevia. And that's when I made my video about mixing my own electrolytes, and I went off cold turkey on those. And at that point, I, honest to God, didn't have any desire to have a diet soda. But I still enjoy drinking the bubbly water because of the carbonation and that little bite that it has when you drink it. And that's how I did it. So I think that may help. The worst thing that could happen to you if you do what I just said is that you're getting electrolytes and a tiny little bit of stevia, and certainly much fewer chemicals than comes in all of these diet sodas. And when you think about what those things cost, the electrolytes are cheaper. They're cheaper. So I hope that answered your question. Want to head back down to the bottom of the chat here and take a look at the last page and see if we got any questions. I see Sandra Buckings. Hi, Mitch, she says. Juan is here. Juan is talking bathroom talk. That's the problem when I try to jump into a conversation. Stacy, you see Robert's answer to your question, 7030. It's not Mitch's answer, but I agree with Robert. Okay, I don't know what that is. There reaches a point. Yeah, boy, you're not kidding. Element Advertising is very aggressive in the community. And listen, they're a business. A lot of people benefit from their stuff. That's fine. That's fine. Donna says that Carnivore helped her to stop drinking tequila and beer. Wow, that's terrific. Linda Price said that butter in coffee is so addictive. I had to stop. I just drink black. Once you, there's a little trick a lot of people don't know, but try putting a little salt in black coffee. It sounds horrible, but believe it or not, it brings out the flavor of the coffee. But I think it makes it better. I'm not talking about teaspoons full of salt like you would with sugar. I'm talking about just a little sprinkle of salt. Juan puts heavy cream in his coffee. HWMO Liberty says he drinks constantly. Yeah, we have urges. We have these urges that are either habit or addiction, or, as most things are, a combination or confluence of both of those things. Sometimes you can stop a habit, but you still have the addiction, so you haven't really solved your problem. Boyd says, when I see an element on a carnivore video, I won't say sold out, but more I can see the person's priorities. Yeah, sold out. Oh, sold out. I understand what you mean there. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't hesitate to talk about the fact we're all trying to make a living here doing this YouTube stuff, and we have to do something. We have to promote. With me, I promote my Amazon links, and you guys come through, and it works out great. It's a win-win situation. So I don't have to take money from those people. We all buy stuff on Amazon anyway. The way I look at it is, if Amazon pays me a little, it's coming out of Jeff Bezos' pocket, not your pocket. Not your pocket. Jeff Bezos' pocket. And Jeff Bezos can afford it, as far as I'm concerned. Especially with the amount of my money he gets. And he just got another $20 today. Don't forget, everything that I recommend on my Amazon links is stuff that I bought, that I paid for. They're not giving me anything for free. Hey, you're talking about electrolytes. Last Thursday, Juan. Yeah, Juan. Juan's. I'm still drinking this cold cup of coffee from when I started here. And this is decaf. And this is my third cup for the day. I had 2 cups of regular coffee this morning. And I just drink a cup of coffee while I'm doing a live stream. I just like it. Well, we got 135 people here. That's great. Hey, I went over 35 or 34,100 subscribers. How'd you like that? Had a little celebration, music and all. 34,100 subscribers. Wow. Compared to the big guys, it's nothing. But for me, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. 10 and a half months. 10 and a half, well, July, 11 months. 11 months. On August the 10th, it will be the 1-year anniversary of my first carnivore YouTube video. all my drone videos go back to 2018, but the carnivore videos started August the 10th. Today is July the 6th, so just about 11 full months, 30,000 subscribers from the drone. From 4 years of being in the drone community on YouTube, I managed to get about 1,300 subscribers. So, and that was a struggle. So this kind of growth for me, from what I've seen in less than a year, is nothing short of phenomenal, just short of phenomenal. So thank you all so much, and I'm glad you enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. I told you this, if you ever, and that one of the problems is you get so many new subscribers who have never seen or never have an opportunity or go back to see the earlier videos that I made, especially the first 5 or 10. Not only to see the difference in me, not that I was in bad shape back then, I was in good shape. I had already been carnivore for almost a year when I started talking about it on YouTube. But mentally, what's happened to my confidence, what's happened to, I've regained my old arrogance and no bullshit attitude. I was pretty beaten up a year ago. I've told that story to everybody. I have 320 something videos that I've made, not counting live streams, just actual videos. 322, I think, was the one I made today. And there's early videos, if you ever want to see how I started this thing, where I told you just exactly what your acceptance has meant to me and how it saved my life and how it gave me just a whole new purpose, which has really come to fruition. And I'll always owe all of the early viewers of mine a debt of gratitude for the acceptance that I got. The newer people probably will never see that side of me that I let out in those early videos. So they're there, and I'm proud of them, not ashamed of them. Where was I? I do this with no agenda, with no script, with no producer, no commercials coming up, no nothing. Just talking to friends, reading the chat at this point. So let's see what's going on in the chat. I want to go back down to the bottom of the chat and try to get caught up and at least talk to people that I know are still in here. Donna, when you write QQQ, it's a question. Okay, Donna did something. What is QQQ? I missed that. Yeah, Donna. Yeah, when you want to ask me a question. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Mitch, you're missing a lot of questions. You missed a lot of QQQs. Okay, I'm going to go on a QQQ hunt, guys. Problem is, I'm not going to be able to keep talking while I do this. So let me go back in the chat a ways, and I will search for the questions. Here, is a little music to keep you occupied. While I search for questions. I got 2 songs playing at once. There we go. Okay. This is what professional show business looks like, guys. And I will put this on so when I talk, the music lowers. Rosie, what about he keeps his phone with him? You send a text with questions. We could do that, or I could just bring Rosie in here and she could sit in a window and yell at me. Sometimes I think we should actually do that. I'm still looking for the QQQs that everybody's telling me about. I don't see any of them. Hi, Mitch and Chad from Cork, Ireland. How you doing, John? Good to see you. Where are the QQQs? I wonder if this chat will actually let me hit F3, find in page. Let me see here. Let me see if I can do this. F3, find QQQ, enter. Ah, okay. Little computer trickery. All right, let's do away with the music. And what would you, Stacy 11, what would you say your fat to protein ratio? I guess that's what you mean. I shoot for 70-30. Anywhere from, I would say anywhere from 60 to 80% fat is good, and it's something we each have to find out what level for ourselves. And the gauge for that, we all have a built-in gauge that tells us exactly if we're, at least if our digestive system is working, tells us if we've hit the number. And that is, if you're constipated and your stools are hard, you're not getting enough fat. If you have diarrhea and you have loose stools, you're getting too much fat. Sorry, we have to have that bathroom talk every time, but that's how you tell. The way I do it, the way I manage it for myself is easy. I go under the philosophy to try to eat the foods that come in nature with the correct fat to protein ratio. Because who was it actually that determined what the correct ratio of fat to protein was? Nobody determined it. It was that the fat to protein ratio in the fatty animals that our ancestors ate was correct. So we adapted to that. It's the horse or the cart, which came first. In this case, the animals had a particular ratio of fat to protein in their bodies. We came along and started eating them through natural selection and all of the development. Those of us that were most suited to that particular ratio that our food supply had are the ones that survived, and that's the programming that got passed on to us. That's still true today. When you go eat a ribeye, it's got the right ratio of fat to protein. If you go out of your way to eat really lean cuts, you won't get enough fat. You won't get enough fat. So those meals you might have to add fat to. If you eat eggs, perfect. Absolutely the perfect ratio in an egg. If you do like some stupid people do and don't eat the yolks, you're going to leave all the fat behind. But in an egg, there's a perfect ratio. By weight, 50-50, probably 70-30 by calories. If you eat fatty hamburger, buy 80-20 or 70-30. Make sure you get enough fat. And don't let it all render out. Try to figure out some way to get the fat back in it. And if you're eating lean things, save some bacon grease. Cook things in bacon grease. Add the fat. Go out of your way to get fat. Shoot for the 70-30. It's much easier just to eat the foods you know come that way. And that way you're really close and you don't have to, it's not something you have to figure. You don't need an accountant to do this diet. So I hope that answers your question, Stacy. Thank you for asking. Now I'm going to try and hit F3 again and see if it goes to the next one. It did. It said, it's Linda's telling me Stacy had a question. And now it goes down to Rosie telling me that Donna has a question. Where is this question? And Tammy is saying, send a text with a question. Okay, so I am finding the QQQs. Here we go. This is working. Rosie said, I missed a lot of QQQs. So I found one question and 5 warnings that I've missed questions. Just terrific. Here's one. WS, I'm new to carnivore, but familiar with Atkins and keto. Cheese, yay or nay? God, I hate questions like this. Because this is, again, it's an individual thing. Cheese can be carnivore, but it has to be a particular kind of cheese. And we're talking about hard cheeses, high-fat cheeses with very little milk in them at all. So cheeses like mozzarella and those they have too much sugar in them, too much lactose. So a lot of people can eat the cheeses. There's a problem with a lot of dairy. And instead of saying just cheese, you can broaden it out and generalize it to say dairy. Which dairy can you eat? Well, we know we can eat butter pretty safely because butter is just almost pure fat. If you clarify the butter and make it into ghee, it's even more pure fat. There's all kinds of different cheeses. But dairy, especially some of these cheeses, have something in it called casomorphines. They also have certain proteins that some people are really sensitive to. A lot of people are sensitive to lactose. They're intolerant, which is the way all humans were until some people started to adapt to it. And if you're lactose intolerant, you can trace your ancestry back to peoples that did not drink milk and weren't exposed and didn't have the opportunity to adapt so that they didn't get so sick. The casomorphines can be addictive. And this is one of the problems people have eating a lot of cheese on a diet is you find cheese creep. I don't know if that's a term, but I just invented it if it isn't. Cheese creep. Like anything, just like carbs. Well, I can just eat a little bit of cheese. And then a few days later, well, it's really good. I'm just going to get me a little more of that. I really like that. And the next thing you know, you're eating a pound of cheese at one sitting. And that is not going to be good for you. So it's an individual thing. If you're just starting carnivore, I would say to eliminate it for a while, eliminate everything for a while. That's the best way to find out what you can and what you can't eat. You eliminate everything, give it a chance, give it a few months. See if everything you want to go away goes away. See if you fix things. See if the pain goes away. See if your blood sugar starts coming back to normal, your A1C. That's why the carnivore lifestyle is such a great elimination diet, is because there are very few people that are sensitive in any way to a pure carnivore diet. There are people that do react badly to mammal meat if they've been bitten by the Lone Star tick and have a condition called alpha-gal. That lasts almost a year. Makes you sick when you eat meat from mammals. So people who have that or have had that tick bite can still eat other carnivore appropriate foods. You can eat fish, you can eat fowl, but you got to stay away from the ruminant animals and the mammal meat. But once you've eliminated everything, and if you really like cheese, if you got to be careful it's not an addiction to some of the things in the cheese is the reason you want it. But many, many, many successful carnivores have added the cheese back in, found a particular cheese, a hard, high-fat cheese that they like, eat it in moderation, don't suffer from a creeping addition every day of more and more cheese, and are fine with it. And it's an individual thing. So I wish I could just say yay or nay. But I think in our world, saying yay or nay to almost anything is impossible anymore because there's always so many conditions that have to be considered. So I hope that answered your question. I, particularly myself, have never been a dairy fan, never been a cheese fan, never liked vegetables very much. There isn't a whole hell of a lot other than meat that I really enjoyed, which made carnivore the easiest thing I ever did in my life. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that just love all this other stuff and can't give it up. So that was WS's question. There you go. And we have Carla Simpson. Love watching the live streams when I have time to watch. Well, great, great. It's not a question, but I'll take compliments as well. And now we're down to Rosie telling me I missed a lot of QQQs. And Grumpy Cat says, where are your drone videos? They are on this channel, every one of them, including all the live streams. You just have to, and the channel was named at the time, Old Guy and a Drone, but I just changed the channel name to Old Guy Carnivore. It's still the same channel. So if you type in any YouTube search box, Old Guy, either Old Guy and a Drone or Old Guy Carnivore, drone videos, you'll get hundreds of them. Hundreds of them. You'll see me skinny, then fat, then skinny, then fat. You'll see me flying drones. You'll see me having 4-hour live streams with overhead cameras showing guys how to solder and build drones and work flight controllers and program things and do all this technical stuff. They used to call me Professor Mitch on my drone channel. Then I hurt my head, had to have brain surgery to get rid of a subdural hematoma, knocked me out of drone flying for a year. The YouTube channel kind of went silent. I recovered from all that. The stories of all that are in many of my live streams on the carnivore. Since I went carnivore, I've told that story many times about how I hurt myself by overdoing it in the gym, how I fell and hit my head in the locker room and ended up having brain surgery and this god-awful scar on my head where they had to cut a piece of my skull out to get that big blood clot out of my head, how it affected my balance, how it took me almost a year to fully recover from it. And all that's history. And now I'm doing just great. I don't have any ill effects from that, but it did take a year of my life away from me, basically, of being able to do everything I wanted to do. So that's where my drone videos are. And let's see who's got the next, where is the next question? You missed a lot of questions. What is QQQ, says Donna. And was that the last one? Missed a lot of questions. His YouTube name and QQQ are best together. If you can, try his first name if on mobile and can't. Okay, so now we have question from Leaf. How you doing, Leaf? Good to see you. Have you heard of eating a lot of butter, especially for holiness in women? I don't know what that means, holiness in women. I don't understand the relationship to butter, but there are people who just eat a shit ton of butter. They'll sit with a stick of butter and eat it like, just eat it like candy. I can't do that. I would gag trying to eat butter. When I was a kid, I'll tell you this right flat out. In my entire life, I never put butter on bread. Never, ever, not once. I never liked butter. The only way I could get close to butter was to have something cooked in it or have it melted or dip shrimp or lobster in drawn butter. But as far as, and I put butter in a baked potato, but I never ate butter. So the thought to me of gobbling down sticks of butter, which is pure fat, is foreign. It's foreign to me. Yet, there are so many people on YouTube who just gobble this stuff down as a snack. I don't even have an opinion on that. I don't see any allure to it. But again, everybody's different. I keep saying that. That's just me. I don't want to do it. I think that if you do, people make brown butter bites. They make all kinds of ways. They put butter in their coffee. If you don't think you're getting enough fat, that's a great way to add it. If you like eating butter, just eat a little butter. It's pure fat. But other than that, I've heard of people eating tons of butter, too much butter. I don't know whether it has any specific advantage or does anything more for you. I can't see where it does anything for you nutritionally. I can only see that it might be useful to up the fat content of your overall diet. I sear my steaks in butter, but most of my cooking, I cook in, and frying, I do in bacon grease. I save just a ton of bacon grease. I fry fish in bacon grease with pork rind coatings, fried shrimp. I make one of my favorite treats on a carnivore diet are my salmon cakes. And I have a video about that. Just look up on YouTube. Old guy carnivore salmon cakes. I make salmon cakes with canned wild-caught salmon that I get from Amazon. And yes, there's a link. Rosie just bought some too. She told me, sent me an email. So I just bought some of the salmon. It's good. It's good salmon. Very, very healthy. Wild-caught salmon. You mix egg with it. You mix pork rind crumbs with it. You fill up a frying pan with about a 1/4 inch or more of bacon grease, and you fry the hell out of them until they get brown and crispy on the outside, and they come out just juicy and soft as hell on the inside, crunchy on the outside. And they make my mouth water thinking about them. I have them about once a month. I eat them about once a month, and they're great. Look that video up on my channel if you haven't seen it yet. But that's my answer for the butter. I hope I've given you some insight. And Mitch, the questions are way far back. Well, I'm just going to keep going, searching out the QQQs. I asked about the best frying pan. Carla Samson, the best frying pan. I don't think there is such thing as a best frying pan. I have two frying pans that I really like, and let me find them in my store, and I'll show them to you. Down in the stuff I use, on the links to stuff I use page, on the Amazon links, I have a couple of carbon steel pans and a couple of stone ceramic pans. My favorite two are this deeper DeBaye, it's pronounced DeBaye, not DeBayer, but DeBaye Mineral B carbon steel 11-inch pan, and the Mueller 12-inch German stone. This is a non-stick pan with a non-poisonous coating. It doesn't stop people from letting me know whenever I do a video cooking in this pan. I never fail to get comments. You shouldn't be using those frying pans. Don't you know they contain Teflon and it's poisonous? It's going to kill you. Shame on you. I get so many of those things that I just generally ignore them now. So I like the Mineral B, the DeBaye. That's a carbon steel pan. I use that primarily for searing meat. I cook burgers in it. I sear steaks in it that have been sous vide. I use the Mueller pan primarily for my bacon and eggs, frying anything in bacon grease, including fish fillets, because it's a much deeper pan, much bigger pan. And those are the two frying pans that I use. The Mueller pan is like $35. It's been on sale recently. It's back up to $35. Sometimes it goes down to $25. I bought two of them just to have them. Two extra ones when they were on sale not too long ago for $25. But they're worth $35. They'll last about a year because the coatings, they do darken and they do get scratched. So I plan on placing that. The Dubai pan is more expensive, $100 frying pan. And that's what it looks like before you season it. The blacker it gets, the better it gets, and the more nonstick it gets. But they don't come pre-seasoned, so you have to season them. But this is shows you I bought this. It says up here, this is my own Amazon account. So anytime there's something that I bought, it'll come up and tell me when I last bought it. I bought it in December of 2022. So I've had this pan for a year and a half now. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's seasoned beautifully, fabulous, holds heat. You've seen me use it in the videos when I sear steaks. So those two frying pans that I have, the Dubai and the Mueller, are all the frying pans I think that anybody needs. And I hope that answered your question. So let's go to the next QQQ here and see. Easiest way, Carla Simpson, the easiest way to start the lifestyle. Well, it's another one of those questions. Who's asking? Where are you coming from? You know, you can ask directions. I can say to you, how do I get to Las Vegas? But the first question you have to ask is, well, from where? Where are you? Or how can I give you directions if I don't know where you are? And that's true about that question. I have some videos on my channel, as does every other carnivore influencer, including Ken Berry, who's got a lot of them. Chafee. So many guys have videos about how to start carnivore. I have 3 or 4 of them that say what to do on the first 30 days. And I have my own ideas. That my ideas include something like priming, where you just concentrate on, throw away the scale and just eat, and concentrate on becoming fat adapted before you worry about anything else, before you worry about losing weight or fasting or exercise, or just figure out what the right foods are. Make sure you got them, make sure that they're cooked, make sure that whenever you get a craving or you ever get hungry, you got something within an arm's reach that you can just stuff in your face and just keep eating until you don't want to eat anymore. Never allow yourself to get hungry. Do that for 30 days. Don't worry about anything else. Just eat. Just eat. I don't care if you eat 10,000 calories a day. You won't be able to, but it wouldn't matter. And that's how I tell people to start on carnivore. Learn what foods to eat. Learn a little bit of the general principles of fat to protein ratio, what, makes up a good for you animal product that fits in with something that you will want to be eating. And the choice is very small, so it's a no-brainer, basically. Ruminant animals, beef, lamb, goat, pork, maybe, pig, ribs, bacon, absolutely, plenty of eggs, some seafood, fish, but primarily ruminant animals, salt, and water. And that's the lion diet. But you can add all this other stuff in and just stuff your face for 30 days. Surround yourself with food. Think of it like a 30-day orgy. Think of it like a Roman feast. We've all seen those movies where all these gladiators are sitting around a table. They got food piled this high in front of them. They're eating they're just eating from animals whole, eat stuff in their face, and they got all kinds of good-looking women pouring wine all over. Think about a feast like that and say to yourself, that's going to be me for 30 days. I'm never going to be far from food. If I leave the house, I'm going to take some pre-cooked hamburgers and pre-cooked bacon in a plastic bag with me. Always have it within an arm's reach. So the instant that I start to get thoughts about going out there and having a donut, I will start stuffing bacon in my face and not stop. I said, we're not just going to have a snack. We're not just taking a bite. We're going to start eating, and we're not going to stop eating until we can't even look at food anymore. That's how I did it. For the first time in my life, at the age of 75, I finally overcame the cravings and addictions by figuring out that the only way I could do that was to not allow myself to be hungry, was to be so disgusted and satisfied from eating the fat and the meat that the thought of food, any food, made me nauseous almost. And the instant I started thinking, the instant the thoughts of ice cream and pizza and donuts and all that crap started creeping into my mind, I would dive back into the bacon and the hamburger patties and everything else and eat until I, again, was on the brink of being nauseous from being way oversatisfied. And I did that for 30 days. And the funny thing is, I had been keto for a long time before that, so it wasn't too hard for me to do. But I must have been eating 3, 4, 5,000 calories a day. And at the end of 30 days, I ended up losing about 5 pounds. I thought I would have gained 50 pounds with all the food that I was eating. But I never weighed myself. I stuck to that. I made that a hard and fast rule for me. Stay off the scale. The mental anguish of thinking about weight loss and making that a priority of the reason that you're doing this is what sabotages most people. And the disappointments you're going to have, even if you're doing everything exactly right, your body weight is going to go crazy, up and down, up and down. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to say, hell with this. It doesn't work. I'm doing all this. I haven't lost any weight. This is no good. We're on our way to Dunkin' Donuts. Why bother? How many of us have been there? And that's not the most important thing. If you never step on a scale again in your life, I tell people this, and I hope you can hear the conviction in me. If you do this lifestyle correctly, you will never, ever again in your life have the need to step on a scale. You're doing everything in your power to do the best you can for your health and your body. Your body will do its thing and find the weight where it wants to be at its healthiest. Anything that you do consciously to interfere with that, other than what we talk about, living a carnivore lifestyle, which means you may have to supplement a few things, watching out for the fat to protein ratio, making sure you eat the right foods, make sure you stay away from activities and circumstances that will trigger your addictions until they go away. And it's pretty universally accepted that after a year or two of this, they pretty well stop hounding you. They have me. That's my short explanation. I have videos out there that say that, the 10 rules for starting carnivore on my website, on the homepage of my website. Let me find it here. On my website, on the homepage, let me bring that up on the screen. There's all my private community members. Thank you guys. Thank all of you. You're in 4 columns now, and it's growing. I love you guys. Don't forget, I got this buy me a coffee. If you absolutely feel the urge to throw money at me, go to this page and buy me a coffee. I appreciate it. I got t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. Here it is. I have a thing on my website that says the most common things derailing beginning carnivores. This is gold, people. This is pure gold. And there's a link to a video. Destructive traps that will dash your diet. This was, I think, one of my better videos in helping people get past these pitfalls. And you can go right to the homepage of my website, oldguycarnivore.com. Just click this link, and the video will play right there in that window.
These obstacles.
In which case you can blow it up full screen if you want, and there you go.
So seem to derail
on the website, me cooking breakfast, talking off the top of my head about all the things that can blow up your diet. So I hope that answered your question. I always tend to give long answers to short questions, so there you go. There you go, Carla. You can always email me too. Glenn Ish, how you doing? He says, Mitch, hi. Mitch, hi. Boyd Lamb says, sorting comments, QQQ. Okay, well, that was a QQQ. Let's see if we have any more. Glenn says, eat meat, get healthy. Glenn, you don't need to put QQQ in front of a comment that you're making. Only do that if it's a question, my friend. That way, I won't have to stop at every one of them. Leaf says, how many in the audience add a lot of extra butter? One stick to their daily meals. Steve Studley says, the more butter, the better. So Leaf is taking a survey here, and all you guys, help him out. Tell him. That's what we're here for. How do you pronounce that? Emsamvargan. Emsamvargan. Wow. Time to go to bed in Sweden. Well, good night, my friend. Good night, my friend. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. And Rosie said, Leaf has a question. I think, here it is, Leaf. Correction. Hormones in women. Couldn't tell you that. That's something that has not been of personal interest to me in my own journey. But I think the morphines involved, the casomorphines, very well might have some hormonal changes for people, women. And let's see what we got here. The next question is, what do you do with tuna? Do you use mayo? HWMO Liberty says, well, I haven't eaten much tuna in a long time. I used to make tuna salad. That was a mainstay for me on keto. And I really honed my knife skills, chopping up, onions and celery. And I used, at the time, this was way back before the big anti-seed oil push. Who knew? Who knew that Hellmann's mayonnaise wasn't any good for you? Because it had soybean oil in it. I would use Hellmann's mayonnaise, and I would chop up celery and onions, put some salt in it, and I would eat tuna every other day. And I would use pork rinds. That's where, when I started with the pork rinds, was eating tuna. I would take a pork rind, and I'd take a big glump of tuna, and I'd throw it on the pork rind, and I eat it like an hors d'oeuvre, and it went crunch, and it had the mayo, and it was delicious, and I really loved it. And then I found out that seed oils are killing you, so I said, okay, and they said, you got to either make your own mayonnaise, but you can buy this avocado oil mayonnaise. Very expensive, but I went to Publix and I found some avocado oil mayonnaise, and the stuff tasted like shit. I just couldn't eat it. It was horrible. To me, anyway. Some people may love it. Then they said, well, you can make bacon fat mayonnaise. I just never was that much of a mayonnaise fan. The only place I ever ate mayonnaise was in tuna salad, just like butter. I never spread mayonnaise on a piece of bread in my life. I was not in love with white creamy food, other than ice cream. I just did not like that stuff. So I said, okay, well, and then I went carnivore and I stopped making tuna salad. I haven't made a tuna salad since I've been carnivore. Now, I've made tuna patties, just like I make the salmon patties. I smash it all up real good. I put some egg in it. I put some pork rind crumbs. I fry it up in bacon grease. And they're delicious. I like the salmon patties better, and I think the salmon patties are better for me. I think they got more omega-3s in them. And in that canned salmon, they got all kinds of stuff. They got the soft little bones, all kinds of nutritious things that you don't even know you're eating. Some of the skin is in there, but it all gets chopped up and mushed up so finely, and the flavor is wonderful. I do have let's call it hurricane food. I have a bunch of tuna in my pantry as food for survival food in case we get a big storm here and power goes down and we can't cook. At least I won't starve to death. I'll have some tuna to eat. But other than that, I just don't eat that stuff much anymore. That's the answer to that question. Next question. Still looking. Back to the place where everybody's telling me I missed a lot of questions. Now we're back to the question. Okay, I'm going around in circles now. So I think I have found all of the QQQs. There's the question about the butter. Question from Zero. Cool above. Without a QQQ. So now I want to have to try to find that question. Zero cool. Oh, how are you liking the air fryer? I love it. I love it. I like it. I like the heated grill plate. As far as everything else that it does, the air crisping, the food dehydrating, the modes to bake, it's exactly the same as the previous model. And the previous model still had a grill plate, and that grill plate would get immensely hot in the preheat cycle, and it would sear meat, and it would put grill marks on meat, even though it didn't have its own heating element. But it didn't do quite as good a job, let's say, as the one with the built-in heating element, which also has a griddle plate that can set on top of it. And you can cook bacon and eggs and all kinds of stuff on that. Although why would I when I have a frying pan? It's just going to be quicker to clean. But I do. I really like it. Did I need to buy it? No. But I do that. I buy these things so that I can, you know, if I'm pointing them out to you, I feel it's the right thing to do, to own them and bring them out. I found out that it doesn't make smoke. I tried the other day. I'm going to try some more. I cooked those ribs with my range hood fan turned off. No fan whatsoever, just sitting there. Not a puff of smoke came out of that thing. It was perfect. It was great. So yeah, I really like it. I really like it, and I'm glad I have it, and it's definitely feeding my addiction. And I'm going to keep going through here and sleuth out. I think I've been through all these comments already. I think I've gone around and round. Okay. I think we're about getting to the end of it, my friends. Been good attendance. I'm glad to see so many of you. So many of you have come in. YouTube approved music, says Easy Rider. The music I was playing for you today was sent to me by the artist who recorded it. No copyright. A gift to me from one of my viewers who has his own studio. Is the saxophone player. Wrote, and it's his music, and he sent it to me so I could use it without getting in trouble on YouTube. I also have a bunch of songs that I downloaded years ago, including the one I opened with, called Book Bag, that are public domain music, and I got them from a place. They're copyright-free, royalty-free, public domain music that I can use anywhere without even putting the name of or the name of the artist. So I have a few of those things, and I stick to those few songs I know I can use without copyright strikes from YouTube. And it's something we have to really watch out for, especially these days when people have made businesses out of going after virtually everybody on YouTube, trying to stick their hands in our pockets and take what they claim is their piece of the advertising revenue that our videos might generate, as little as it is, for the few seconds of their so-called copyrighted music. that they paid pennies for to people who didn't care and claim to legally own, and in most cases don't. But the cost of fighting those claims on YouTube would be ridiculous. So everybody just goes along with it. And what most of us do, and YouTube has ways to do it, is remove that music from our videos. So we just, I've gotten a couple of these things where one time I was driving in my car and I had the radio, about 5 seconds of the radio on before I realized the radio was on. I shut the radio off. Sure enough, I get an email from YouTube and a copyright strike on the music that was on the radio for those 5 seconds, telling me that the royalties that I would earn on the advertising will be going to the copyright holder of that music, or do you want us to remove the music? And I said, remove the music. And they have a way to filter it out, and it's gone. And it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. But some people are making tons of money, and as far as I'm concerned, it's an extortion racket. But like everything else in this world, everybody games the system. Everybody's out to scam you. Everybody's out to send you phishing emails and steal your money and anything else they can steal from you. It is a jungle. It always has been, and it always will be, as long as you're dealing with animals. That's what we are. Rosie Red says, old guy, end of QQQ. Thank you, Rosie. Almost end of stream. We've been going for an hour and 45 minutes here. That's about the time I usually try to start to wrap it up. I see people talking about Butter Bob. I don't know. I don't know if he's still alive or not. There are some people who say he's alive and well somewhere. There are other people who say he died. He was a pioneer in this. He was a pioneer, and I think he finally got tired of the harassment and, tired of stupid people trying to do good. You're trying to do something good, and you become attacked and an enemy for some stupid reason because you don't buy into their bullshit. You're up to 119 viewers. Yeah, I've been watching that. I've been glancing at that. Anyway, HWMO Liberty, Mrs. Butterbob. Thanks, Rosie Red, Robert Cole. Anna T is thanking Coco, Mrs. Butterbob. He was awesome. I hope he's well, too, but nobody's heard from him for a while. Steve Studley says, don't forget to like Carla Simpson. Meatloaf recipes, anyone. I've got a couple of meatloaf recipes on my channel. Just type old guy carnivore meatloaf. You'll find them. Got one where I ground up bacon together with chuck and made and together and mixed it up and made a meatloaf. I got my ginormous meatloaf thing where I made like 5 pounds of meatloaf with thick cut bacon all over the top of it. That was and pork rind crumbs and egg in it. That was good. Michelle McDermott just got here. Hi, Michelle. You're right. You are so late. Robert Cole. Funny how it's copyright infringement, but you can listen to the whole song on YouTube for free. Yeah, well, it's the law. So what else we got, AMP? Be careful. You may get a bazillion views if you go on a rant. Yeah, that's people like me ranting, and I do it. I just want you all to not worry about me having a heart attack, because I am not upset when I do that. I may sound firm. That's me making a point. But inside, I'm smiling like hell and having a ball, being able to spout off like that. It just feels good. It just feels good. For old grandma, some folks refer to semi-retired Bob as Butter Bob. No, semi-retired Bob, although a very nice guy, is nothing like Butter Bob. Jimi Hendrix was always copyrighted. MBI Mitch, I'm from the UK. Love your videos. Sharon S. says, thank you so much, Sharon. I'm just chiming in to say hello, Ted. That is Ted Martinez. Good to see you, my friend. Your chat is keep me entertained while working out. Love the chats. I love doing these live streams. That's why I started this Saturday one. And I think the attendance is starting to climb on the Saturday streams. Here's a question from Laser on Focus. Could you put your drone videos in a playlist, please? I'll try to remember to do that. Although I don't want this to become a drone focused channel again. You can find my drone videos. Just type into Google, old guy and a drone. Let me see, just for grins. Let me see, just for fun. Let me open a browser, put it up here, type in here, old guy and a drone, and see what happens. See, you get old guy with a drone and you get old guy carnivore. Okay? So, introducing old guy and a drone. 72-year-old arrested. That's not me. So I'm not seeing a lot of my drone videos because they've been quiet for quite a while. But let me see what happens if I type old guy carnivore drone videos. Old guy carnivore, old guy carnivore. Here we come. Here's Old Guy and Friends Live, April 30th, 2020. Now we're seeing more Old Guy Carnivore stuff. So you're going to have to go to YouTube. And what I'll try to do, I'll tell you what I'll do, because not too many people ask me for this. And it takes a while to page through all my uploads to get back. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos, and you got to do it one page. You got to go through them one page at a time to get back to the stuff from 2018, 2019. I will make a playlist and put it on the Old Guy Carnivore channel as one of the playlists of some of my favorite drone videos. I don't know if I'll have that done anytime in a day or two, but I will do it and get it done for you. I appreciate the interest in that. I think the drone community's in big trouble these days. I think that it's all going away. I think the hobby is gone. I think DJI, the company that makes most of the camera drones that people buy, is just about to be banned in this country because of supposed ties to the Chinese Communist government. In a couple years, I have a closet full of DJI stuff. I probably won't even legally be allowed to fly that stuff. I think they're trying to get drone delivery and all these companies, UPS, Amazon, FedEx. They want us out of the skies. They've demonized us like they demonize meat. They've got people thinking that we're out there spying on their fat wives floating in their bikinis in the swimming pool where we could care less. They've made enemies out of drone flyers when most of us were just hobbyists, most of us from the RC hobby. I'm tired of fighting battles, my friends. I'm tired of being the bad guy. That's why I don't deal with the drones anymore, even though I enjoy them. I'm tired of being the people in society that they want to get rid of. And what do? I start a carnivore channel where they continue to demonize me, want to kill me, and cancel my message completely because of the danger to society that we are. I can't win. I can't win. Question: to look at your store, do I go to Old Guy Carnivore on Amazon? No. You go to my website. You go to my website, which is oldguycarnivore.com. This is it here. This is the homepage. oldguycarnivore.com. See it? Right there. oldguycarnivore.com. Go over here to the menu. It says homepage, Carnivore Basics. Links to stuff I use every day. Click on that. Another little sub-menu will come up that says T-shirts and merchandise, supplements, food and pantry items, kitchen appliances, T-shirts I wear, cameras and accessories, exercise equipment. These are all the things that I use. So if you click on kitchen, small appliances and tools, it takes you down to all of these. And that's where you'll find the links. And that's where you, in order for me to get any credit for what you're buying from Amazon, you have to go in with the link from my website. You can't just go on Amazon. So if I want to buy this pan, I would click this button here. It would take me to Amazon. Right now, Amazon knows who sent them to the party. And that it was me, and I'll get credit. Now, if while you're there, you search for like a tent, you want to buy a tent because you're going camping, and you decide to buy this tent right here for $119, and you go ahead and buy that too, they give me credit for that as well. And until you close your browser, I don't care if you go on a shopping spree of a lifetime, they're paying me a commission on it. It's fabulous. I love it. And I don't want people to necessarily use my links when they're buying something else. But if you're in Amazon and you've gotten there from my link and you want to buy something else, go right ahead. It won't insult me, and it won't cost you any more money either. That's how that works. I thank you for asking, though. That means that you're interested in doing it, and that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. Okay, guys, I think I better cut it off here, or I'll keep going. Mitch, you have an army of 34,000 plus. They wouldn't dare cancel you off here. Well, they canceled some much bigger ones than me in their time. But let's hope not. Let's hope not. I think on balance, we may actually, not just me, it's all of us. We're a little army here. We're a bunch of rebels. I think we're all doing a lot more good for society than harm. Believe me. Believe me. So, Leaf, thank you for that. I don't think it's going to work if you're in Europe. That link is useless anyway, but that's how you get to it. That's only good for the United States, unfortunately. There's ways I can go about setting it up for international, but it's too much grief, too complicated, too many places for things to go wrong. And the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You guys are still chatting away. I still got 127 of you here. Oh, my God. I hate to end a party when everybody's having such a good time. But thank you. I see Richard Williams. Williams is here. How you doing, man? In Copper Hill, Tennessee. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks, everybody, for coming in. I'm going to fire up. I want to fire up some blues. I like blues. And tell everybody that I'm going to take the rest of the day off now. I must have 1,000 comments to read and reply to on that video today. And that'll take me into tonight to do that. It is a full-time job. Gotta tell you guys, it's a full-time job. I'll see you on Tuesday on my live stream. There'll be a video every day, I'm sure, of something. And B loves the music. Much better than jazz. Well, blues is jazz. Just a different kind of jazz. You're welcome to everybody who's thanking me. And I still have a sip of cold coffee. Wow, and it is cold, but it still has good flavor. So without further ado, the rest of you have a safe and healthy holiday weekend. Be careful. We'll see you all on Tuesday night in the live stream. On Thursday night in the private community live stream. And until I see you all again, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.